Once upon a time, there lived two couples named Michael and Amara. Michael and Amara had been married for 12 years, yet their home remained silent. No cries of a newborn, no lullabies, only unanswered prayers. Every hospital visit ended in frustration. Everything looks normal, the doctors would say. But nothing was normal. Amara would sit by the empty crib they bought years ago, gently folding and unfolding the tiny baby clothes she refused to give up on. Michael, though strong on the outside, often locked himself in the bathroom just to cry where she couldn't see. For years, Michael and Amara tried everything they could to have a child. They first turned to the church. A popular pastor in the city told them their delay was spiritual. "Someone close to you has tied your womb," he claimed. He asked them to sow a seed. First it was money, then a bag of rice, then a special anointing oil, worth more than half Michael's salary. They obeyed, desperate for a miracle. But nothing happened. Then the pastor told them to come for a night deliverance. They fasted for 21 days. He laid hands on Amara, shook violently, spoke in strange tongues, and yet she went home empty. Later, they found out the pastor had told 5 other women the exact same prophecy, and collected offerings from each of them. Heartbroken and ashamed, they turned to tradition. An old aunt insisted, "Church has failed you. Go to the shrine." They traveled far into the village to meet a native doctor known as Dibia Onu. He sat in a smoky hut, surrounded by red cloth, cowries, and old carvings. He promised them a child for a price. They returned the next week with a goat, kola nuts, palm oil, and 7 tubers of yam. The native doctor did his rituals, chanted, and smeared white chalk on Amara's belly. "In 9 months, your baby will come," he said. 9 months passed. Nothing. The shrine had failed them too. Some neighbors showed sympathy, but others mocked them cruelly. When Amara walked by, whispers followed. Still no baby. Maybe she offended the gods. One afternoon, near the public tap, a group of women talked loudly. One said, "If it were me, I'd have packed out of shame." They all laughed, and Amara's tears fell silently as she walked away. At a neighbor's child dedication, the host handed Amara a drink with a knowing smile. "One day, you'll serve yours too, if it ever comes." Even the children noticed. The little boy pulled at her dress, asking, "Why don't you have a baby like my mommy?" The pain was constant, but Michael's faith never faltered. Their landlord, Boba Tund, however, was different. An elderly man with kind eyes, he often said, "Children come when the gods permit. Don't lose hope." Still, 12 years felt like a lifetime. And just when they almost gave up, something unexpected happened. Amara wept that day. But Michael wiped her tears and whispered, "Our time will come. I believe it." And then, it did. Amara had a dream. A glowing child touched her belly and said, "It is time." Weeks later, she missed her period. The test came out positive. Michael ran through the street shouting, "God has remembered us." The day finally arrived. Amara gave birth to a healthy, beautiful baby boy. They named him Chimaris, meaning God has written it. That evening, the whole community erupted in joy. Celebration bombs lit up the air, and music filled the streets. Their home overflowed with laughter, love, and guests. Neighbors came bearing gifts, food, clothes, and toys, filling their house with blessings. Even Baba Tund, their quiet landlord, showed up with a generous gift basket. His warm smile and kind words made the night even brighter. For the first time in years, their house was filled with hope, happiness, and the promise of a new beginning. Everything went well that night, the joy, the laughter, the celebration. But just as midnight struck, a loud bang shattered the peace at their door. 3 armed men burst into the house, voices cold and demanding. "Where's the baby?" One shouted. Michael shielded Chimaris while Amara knelt, pleading. Please, not our baby. Take anything else. Without warning, a gunshot rang out. The baby was dead. Tears flooded Amara's face as she wailed uncontrollably. Michael's anger erupted like never before. He grabbed the man who fired the shot, holding him tightly while the other two fled into the night. Neighbors, awakened by the gunshot and screams, rushed to the house. Together, they beat the masked man mercilessly. When they finally tore off his mask, the room fell silent. It was their landlord Bobatond. They were shocked, staring at him in disbelief. Why, Bobatond? Why? They demanded. But he froze, trembling, unable to utter a single word. The anger of the crowd erupted again, and they beat him until he was half dead, and as Bobatond lay there, bleeding and silent, one question echoed in everyone's heart. Why would the man who blessed their joy be the one to destroy it? What happened next will leave you speechless. Don't scroll, like and follow to hear the shocking truth in part 2.